A question I get asked frequently working in the PT clinic is what kind of diet will help them lose weight? Or more specifically, will a low carb or low fat diet give them better results? Most of these people are very low activity or sedentary in their lifestyle. Let's talk about carbohydrates. First off, popular examples of a low carb diet include the Atkins diet and the Zone diet. The Atkins diet requires you to eat in the first 3 months about 20 grams of carbohydrates a day, while the Zone diet recommends about 40% of your intake should be from carbs, or based on a 2,000 calorie diet, about 200 grams of carbohydrates. While it's important to limit carbs, it's also important to choose the right type of food with the right type of carbohydrate. Carbohydrates can be broken down into two classifications: simple and complex. Simple carbohydrates include sugar, white bread, white rice, and potatoes, and these break down quickly and will give you a spike in blood sugar followed by a crash. Examples of complex carbs include brown rice, non-starchy vegetables, and beans, and these are broken down slowly, allowing for you to maintain a steady blood glucose level throughout the day, giving you sustained energy. Jenkins et al. 1981 states that the maintenance of glucose controls hunger and can prevent a variety of health issues like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Now I'm going to talk about low-fat diets, such as the Ornish diet and the Learn diets, which both require less than 10% of daily consumption coming from saturated fats. The Ornish diet encourages people to eat a vegetarian diet while keeping the fat count low, while the Learn diet follows the USDA recommendations of a 55 to 20 to 25% ratio of carbs to protein to fats. Similar to carbohydrates, not all fats are created equal. Blood cholesterol is expressed as levels of LDL, bad fats, bad cholesterol, and HDL, good fats, good cholesterol. LDLs include saturated fats, which come from animal source, and trans fats, which comes from partially hydrogenated oils due to overprocessing of the food and preservatives that are in them. And both types increase LDL, which can increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases. And examples of these are, like I mentioned, animal fats, dairy products, milk, cheese, butter, and most of these saturated fats are solid at room temperature. Trans fats usually come from fried foods, chips, cookies, and donuts. Conversely, HDLs, they consist of mono unsaturated and polyunsaturated fats and omega-3 fatty acids, which can reduce levels of LDLs in your blood and are important for overall heart health. An example of these can include olive oil, avocado, fish, and nuts. If the goal of the diet is to lose weight, then I would recommend a low-carb diet. A study done by Bazzano et al. 2014 found that a low-carb diet induced greater weight loss and reductions in cardiovascular risk factors after 12 months, and that these results were also significant at the 3 and 6 month check-in. Compared to a low-fat diet, the low-carb diet resulted in greater improvements in body composition, HDL cholesterol levels, the ratio of HDL to LDL levels. A study done by Dansinger, Gleason, Griffith, Selker, and Schaefer in 2005 compared the effects of Atkins, Ornish, Weight Watchers, and Zone diets on weight loss and cardiovascular disease risk factors. And they found that over 3 and 6 months, the low-carb Zone diet and Atkins diet had better effects of weight loss. And between those two low-carb diets, the Zone diet had better outcomes for cholesterol levels and was easier to adhere to. In addition to macronutrient levels, the Zone diet also had better outcomes for micronutrient levels. Gardner et al. 2010 found that due to dietary restrictions by the Atkins diets, levels of thiamine, folic acid, vitamin C, and iron were inadequate compared to average daily requirements at 8 weeks. Comparatively, with a 500 calorie decrease, participants in the zone diet showed no risk of inadequacy for those micronutrients. The zone diet is based on a ratio, so it's easy to calculate how much each macronutrient should be consumed. In a 2,000 calorie diet, the 40-30-30 ratio splits up as 200 grams of carbohydrates, 150 grams of lean protein, and 66 grams of good fats. Following the zone diet, a sample breakfast would be 2 eggs or 4 egg whites, mixed with about an ounce of cheddar cheese and a cup of broccoli cooked in a tablespoon of olive oil, with 2/3 cup of raspberry and a quarter of cantaloupe on the side. And for someone who has a higher calorie requirement, 2 ounces of Canadian bacon can be added, in addition to half an English muffin. A sample lunch includes a salad made with 4 cups of spinach, a quarter cup of kidney beans, a cup of chopped tomatoes, 2 ounces of chicken breast, an ounce of feta cheese, and a tablespoon of salad dressing. And to add some more calories, one can include 12 peanuts, an apple, and a cup of milk. And a sample dinner for the zone plan would include 3 ounces of salmon, a cup of green beans, a cup of strawberries, and a cup of milk, with the addition, if necessary, of another ounce of salmon and 1/3 of a cup of boiled potatoes. In between the meals of breakfast and lunch and dinner, it's advised that you snack. So they should be relatively small compared to the main meals. And the snacks could include about a quarter cup of cottage cheese mixed with some fruit like pineapple or strawberry, and a quarter teaspoon of sunflower seeds, or 3 cashews, or a string cheese, something small. When losing weight, the most important factor is choosing a diet that you can follow. Whether that diet be low carb or low fat, any weight loss will have health benefits and decrease the risk of cardiovascular disease. It is important to mention that all these studies had caloric restrictions and did not include exercise. I talked a lot about the zone diet, and using a structured plan like this may be helpful at the beginning of your weight loss journey. However, this should just be the start of your lifestyle change.